All right, we got the Lions hosting the Cowboys in Thursday night football. The 7-5 Lions desperately need a win to keep their postseason hopes alive after losing 4 of their last 7 games. They'll take on a surging Cowboys team who at 6-5-1 has won 3 straight games, but Dan Campbell knows the deal. The focus is on them.
We know what's in front of us. And you can't worry about the other teams that are out there, the other teams that are in front of you, or what it looks like in the NFC. You just can't, and it doesn't matter. Shoot, you went out, you might not get in, but you don't know, right? Hell, maybe it only takes 11 to get in. I don't know, but I know this: we got to win this one. We got to win this one. So let's worry about that right now.
It's time now for another edition of Saturday Sneak Peek with NFL analyst and box office pickmaker, Jeff Saturday.
There he is.
What is up, fellas? Let's get this thing going. Hey, we're going to talk about the game we just heard Dan talking about, Silence of the Lamb. How about that for Dallas and Detroit? How about that movie poster, baby? Let's go. And this is going to be the big ask of that Detroit backfield. Can they slow down CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens? Listen, we've watched what Dak has been able to do all season with these two guys. They are playing lights out. Again, cap it off last week against the Kansas City Chiefs defense. It was good. They pushed the ball down the field. They're as explosive as it gets. And the Lions just put another DB on IR this past week. It's going to be a big ask. And by the way, that Cowboys defense can get after the quarterback. So Jared Goff is going to have to find some ways. But this is a fantastic matchup for the NFC playoffs. Both are in trouble. Both got to make it happen. Now let's go to the AFC South. Top gun. Daniel Jones and Trevor Lawrence, Colts and Jags. The biggest issue, the Colts ain't won down there since 2014. By the way, I retired in 2012. That's a problem. You ain't scored, or you haven't won down there is a big issue. The Colts have lost 3 of 4. They have to find their way back. They had a hot start. They were the hottest team in the AFC. They got to find their way back. Again, Trevor Lawrence has done a great job with Cone. They figured this thing out in Jacksonville. They got a very good defense. But ultimately, this is a big show for the Colts to go down there and win, get back in the winning category down there, and then finally, North Runner 2025. How about the Chicago Bears? Ben Johnson ran the ball last week against the Philadelphia Eagles for 250 yards. They had 2 running backs that averaged 6 yards a carry. That's right, 6 yards a carry, which is absolutely insane. Ben Johnson does a great job of designing these runs. This is a very physical group for the Chicago Bears, and they're facing, to me, I think the best defense in the NFC right now. This team can flat out get after you, led by Michael Parsons. They can stop the run as well, and their offense is much more explosive than Philly's. This is a big matchup. I think this puts the Bears on the true map. I know they're first in the NFC right now, but gives them true credibility if they can beat this Packers team.
Fair enough. Jeff, as always, delivering 3 more blockbusters, but Jeff, your buddy, Dominique Foxworth, is your biggest critic. It's time for Neek's critique. So slide on in here, Neek, and let us know, is it 2 thumbs up or 2 thumbs down for North Runner 2025?
Yeah, I'm going to give it 2 thumbs up. I'm excited about that particular game, but I think I feel a little bit differently about it than Jeff. I think this is a game where the Bears finally come back down to earth. I love their rushing attack. It's wonderful. But that defense is really good. But more importantly, they're not going to be able to run their way past all these points that I think Jordan Love is going to be able to score. This offense went from being a little bit of a dink and dunk unit to taking big shots downfield. What they did on Thanksgiving was really impressive, and the way that they're playing right now is going to be tough to keep up with that scoring if they're not going to be, if they're just going to be running the ball the way that they did against the Eagles. This ain't the Eagles offense, so I'm leaning more to the Packers and the Bears kind of Cinderella run, slowing down just a little bit.
Yeah, and listen, I'll give Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love, more importantly, a ton of credit. The dude is absolutely balled. I gave him some criticism. He's balled these last 3 or 4 weeks. Yep. Congrats to them. They're definitely on a run.
Big one in the NFC North. Always fun with Jeff Saturday.
So let's start off with this. We were just talking about the Giants a little bit with the 2 rookies. Big picture philosophical question. I love to talk about like real life stuff with you guys. How do you get NFL players to listen to you if you're a coach?
Bench them. Bench them. That's how you get them to listen. And the other thing you ain't supposed to say is have the vets in there put the beat down on them.
That's what he said.
That's the two ways you change behavior. I had a coach tell me one time, hey, listen, shame, embarrassment ain't always bad. Sometimes it changes behavior.
Let's bring back some shame.
Let's put some shame and embarrassment on these clowns, put them up on it, and then the vets need to put hands on some folks. You know what I mean? Put them in some lockers and make people understand, bro, all of our jobs are tied to you. We're all tied together. Like, if you ain't doing your job, I can't make nearly as much money, and vice versa. Like, understand, we're all grown. We're feeding families, taking care of families. That's real. That's the real part.
Yep. I got nothing to add to that. Like, I mean, I think that ultimately most people don't change. Like, you could be like a couple degrees different than who you are. So there's some people that I ain't got it in me to change you. If you're talented enough, which I think the players that we're talking about, the ones that are so talented, like, they learn their lessons at a different pace, and you can try to expedite that lesson by physical and also conversations and consequences. So yeah, I think it's no different than any other workplace. It's a unique workplace, but it's the same thing that if you're talented enough, you can get away with some things. But if you're not going to learn your lesson, you're going to have to pay some price.
What were the consequences that you guys actually cared about? Playing time? I mean, you guys are the wrong ones, right?
Yeah.
You guys are probably not the ones that actually have to deal with it.
100%.
And that's the truth of most guys in the league.
That's right.
It's like you don't get there. At some point, you get sorted out. You don't make it through college or high school or get drafted if you are a guy who's not able to follow directions or fall in line. If you're talented enough that none of that matters, then none of that matters.
Right. Yeah, but guess what? You need those guys on your team. Right? If they're talented enough where none of that matters, because ain't a whole lot of guys like that walking around planet Earth. They just left the hospital with more.
Yeah, that's right. That's genetic. They won the genetic lottery, and that's the reality. And you know that. You see it. Let me tell you something, bro. When dudes walk on the field, you see it right away, and you're like, all right, I wasn't that guy. They would fire me and move on, right? Go find somebody else to replace what I can do. Like,
but did you have to do that in your time as a head coach? Did you have to discipline any specific player?
Absolutely.
And how do you handle that?
I benched him and cut him. I mean, that's what I did. I mean, because to me, fines like that. What is that going to do, right? Like, you find somebody for like doing dumb stuff, right? But like, if you consistently can't show up for a meeting, I end up having to let a player go, right? And then I tried to bench play, but I had significant discipline issues that. And then at some point, like, there's too many to handle. Like, you have, because whatever the process is, man, it's like it permeates the building, and that's the problem, because they don't realize, like, it's not just one. It's the one turns into 10, and that the other 9 ain't the one.
And I think also getting them around other people who are like later in their career. Like, you can be around a guy who just like experienced just such a level of like regret for missing their opportunity that you get them in that aura of a guy who was super talented but now